Hello, I'm Jennifer from Olympia Piano. Thank you for being here and watching. This short video is going to be on Haydn's German Dance in D major. If you have this book, the Royal Conservatory book, and you are taking the level 1 exam, you might be practicing this piece. So I'm just going to offer you some tips that I give my students, and hopefully they will help you as well. So we're going to look at 3 different sections. We're going to look at measures 1 through 4, 5 through 8, and then after the repeat, 17 through 20. So let's go ahead and get started with 1 through 4. The most important thing is that you find a fingering that works for you. So I think the fingering written in the book is good. If you have the book that I showed you, it's page 8 in the book. All of this is pretty standard. Kind of a big stretch. So this is almost as if you're in a 4-note D chord. This fingering that I've written in is good for this first part. And then even though the same fingers aren't playing at the same time, they kind of like it if they're both playing the same fingers, if that makes sense. So right hand's playing 2, 3, 4, and left hand's playing 4, 3, 2. That always feels kind of nice. But then after that, this is where we've got a couple of fingering options. You could either do go back and then just keep 2 here. So that would be if I started right here. So only the right hand is switching. Okay, that's option number 1. Option number 2 would be to put 3 on this A. So instead of 2, 5, 2, we'd have 3, 5, 3. This just works better for some people. Go ahead and try that, starting from the same spot, and then switch to 3. Your first item of business would be to figure out which of those 2 fingers worked for you. All of what I've just highlighted in yellow will be played detached. It's almost like 3/4 of the quarter note. So you don't want it to be too short, but you don't want it to be like this. Feel like your quarter notes are uplifted. And then smooth, up, up, up. So something that I hear happen a lot is right here on this beat 2 and on this beat 3. What happens is people will often play they won't do an up sound on this beat 2. You want to make sure that you get it up. So it's up, 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 down, up. And then similarly on this beat 3 here, I often will hear a slur. So all of these quarter notes need to be up and detached. So I'm going to start from the 2, 3, 4. Up, 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 down. Not. Or not this. So now I'm going to play that whole section, and then we'll have a little roll-up motion here. Up, 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 down, up, 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 roll up. So now we'll move on to the next part, which is these last 2 notes here. I might just draw them in on the next line. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to discuss the fingering. The first fingering is 4, 2, 1, 5, 3, 1. The benefit to this is that the only part of the hand that's moving is the thumb. The drawback is that 4 is a weaker finger, and you might not like playing your triads with 4, 2, 1. But this is how this one works. 4, 2, 1, 1, thumb, scoots. Then the other choice for these 2 would just be doing 5, 3, 1 for both of them. So you're in a D chord, and then you move up to an E minor chord. 5, 3, 1, 1, 5, 3, 1, 1. So determine what works best for you there. And then I have 2 choices for this part right here. We can keep with the 5, 3, 1, and then crossing with 3. And then here at the end, it can either be 4 or 1. So the only thing here that you have to be mindful of is that this interval is a second. So it's going to feel a little squished if you do this fingering. 5, 3, I don't know if you can see it very well. See how the finger 2's out of it? Or when you end with 1, you can pop up for an octave, but you also have a rest after this D that you can just move up an octave. Okay, so fingering number 2 doesn't involve a squish, And it just changes the beginning here again to 4-2-1. 4-2-1, 3-2-1, 2-3-4, or 4-2-1. Okay? Whichever fingering you choose, what you want to do is make sure that you grab this starting position right here with whatever fingering. So I would suggest practicing the second one of those and then noticing, or 5-3-1, 5-3-1. So getting used to the overlap on those two notes. Okay? Left hand fingering also has some options, and what they are is you can either have 2-4. That's kind of like where you just ended up. So then you would just put a 4 there, and then 1-3. And then notice, again, like I was just talking about, the bottom of this interval becomes the top of this. And this is the interval of a seventh. Big stretch, almost an octave. And then that's going to scoot into 2-4. So fingering 1, rotate, put 1 where 3 was, and squeeze. Now, some people prefer to do this first one with 1-3 and just scoot up. So if you were doing that with your right hand, you might have, and then the whole position scoots up. 1-3 here, and then open up. Okay, I find it helpful to move on the rest. Play, play, move, play, play, move. So 2 more things with this particular section. I'm going to erase this though. In measure 5 here, these are both going to be up sounds. Sometimes people want to go up, down, up, down. It will sound much more dance-like and light if you do down, up, up, down, up, up. And this one can be even less. So stress on beat 1 and then a little lighter on beat 2. So that's item number 1. And then the second thing is here in this measure, you've got to get used to your left hand playing up sounds while your right hand is playing legato. And so I'm going to just show you a side view of this actually. This is how I practice it. So I'm going to do smooth, and then when I hit my thumb on the D, I'm going to pop off with my left hand, doing it kind of dramatically so I can feel this is glued to the piano, but this is short, short, short. And then these will be a roll up here, roll the wrist. So let me just do that first one. So I'm getting used to one hand doing one thing, the other hand doing the other thing. Okay, now I'm going to add the next one. And then we add the final one. And then everything. Hands roll up together. Okay, and then the last section, not as complicated. So left hand fingering, there's one option. This is your 5 chord if you follow music theory. We're in the key of D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this little section. And then we go to 2-4, which is just the other notes that we didn't play. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, back to your 5 chord. And then you have to switch on beat 3. Not too bad. So let's just practice that. All of these are short, 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 roll up. And then we go back to the first phrase. Now, with the right hand, you can do 2 different fingerings, not complicated. You can either do 3, switching to 4. So that would be like this. So you switch to 4, it's kind of nice because the 4s are playing at the same time. Be mindful not to do a down motion here, but do an up motion here. Similarly with this, keep all those staccati light and up. So up, 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 down, up, up, down, roll up. Then some people find it more convenient to just play this with 5. So then you're not even moving at all. Your right hand just stays in this position the whole entire time with the 2 sharps in the middle, and that would look like this. choose the one that works for you there. So those are the main tips that I usually give to my students who are learning this piece. The final step is to work out all of the dynamics. You want to figure out what you could do with dynamics in that last section, because if you're doing the exam, you would do the repeat. Usually for that, what I do is play the first one as written at mezzo forte, and then on the repeat, cut way back, but then do a big crescendo. So now I'm just going to play it through. With regards to the tempo, the book suggests 144 to 160. I think that's a good tempo, robust, dance-like. You want to have your emphasis be on 1 for a dance, because that's where the big step would be in the dance. So everything else a little bit lighter. But let me just go ahead and play it through. I'm not going to play it with the metronome, but I will give you a side view so you can see my hands also. I'll play it through twice. All right, here's the slow one. I'm just going to start in measure 9 and go straight through to the end. Then I'll play it all the way through with the repeats and everything. Left hand's going to be a tiny bit higher so that those chords aren't too loud. So the hands are not at the same angle. Left hand tiny bit higher. Change position. Then here, left hand's just going to stay unless you choose the 1-3. Right hand 4 or 5 is going to go where 2 was. Up, 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 up. Now left hand, different articulation. Now from here, we're on our D chord, our 1 chord. We've got to move up a 5th to A. So left hand's going to come to the A chord, right hand's going to come to A. I'm going to use 3. Short, 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 then smooth, short, short, smooth, roll up. Okay, here it is all the way through. So hopefully that tutorial helped you out if you are learning this piece. I just love it. Such a joyful, bouncy piece and really fun to play. Lots of little challenges in there. So please subscribe if you like this detailed style of piano teaching. I have hundreds of videos on the channel with various pieces. If you know anyone who also likes this style of teaching, make sure to share it with them. Make sure to mention at Olympia Piano on your social media channel. And if you found this especially helpful, send a donation through the channel. You can do that through the Super Thanks, which is at the bottom of the screen, or you can do it through PayPal. All of the info is in the description. And finally, if you've watched my videos before, you know I love to know where you're from, so please leave that for me in the comments, along with any questions that you may have. You might have a fingering that is different than what I showed, or a question about the slurs, or anything. Please leave that for me. And as always, thank you for watching.